local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The jury in the Lindsay Clancy trial has instructed jurors to keep at it. The 9 women and 3 men came back to court today telling the judge they were deadlocked, could not come to a unanimous decision. The judge said they needed to keep on deliberating.
They are not sequestered. They deliberate between 9 and 4 each day, and they've had 2 full days of deliberations under their belt, plus a little bit on Thursday of last week. This is the 4th day of deliberations, 18 hours of weighing the evidence. And Kevin Reddington, the defense attorney, said he believed the jury is working diligently.
ABC's Aaron Katursky at the courthouse. Rescue teams are continuing to search for thousands of people still missing after last week's flooding in Nepal and Tibet. The death toll, more than 1,000 people. Russia pounding Ukraine overnight. Kyiv under bombardment for more than 12 hours. Tropical storm Edward could hit hurricane strength, forecasters say, as it approaches the Texas and Louisiana coast, bringing a lot of rain. This is ABC News. The Trump administration has filed an urgent appeal with the Supreme Court seeking the immediate removal of 29 active duty service members who are transgender. Several courts have found the upcoming ban on trans service members likely does violate their right to due process and their right to equal protection, a conclusion the Pentagon disputes. Here's ABC's Steve Bainan.
Of all military personnel issues, this is not really cracked even in the top 50. It's not something we're hearing about from the rank and file. When you hear about personnel issues, they're more concerned about safety on bases, quality of the food they're getting, the sleep. We saw reports of morale issues on the USS Lincoln. Those are the issues that are affecting the rank and file and the commanders. And this issue is coming from the administration based on what they think the military should look like.
That coming as Army Secretary Dan Driscoll turns in his resignation. Tensions had been rising, sources say, between him and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth over recent firings of top Army brass. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Seattle Public Schools says it's working to avoid a teacher strike before classes start tomorrow. We'll have more on that, but first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. The heaviest drive is out of the north end this morning. It's well over an hour from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue. It's about an hour and 20 minutes all the way from the Everett area. Federal Way to Seattle is making some progress. That drive is going to take you at least 55 minutes. The Valley Freeway is under 45 right now, and Renton to Bellevue about 40 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The clock is ticking down to the midnight deadline, and Seattle parents are wondering, will the district reach a contract agreement with the teachers union? Superintendent Ben Schuldener.
I mean, I'm an eternal optimist. I really believe that SEA, SPS, the community, the city care deeply about getting schools open. I really do hope that we're going to be able to get there on Wednesday.
Last night's bargaining session stretched late into the night. Key issues remain: changes to special education, pay raises, and class sizes. The district says it's facing a multi-million-dollar budget deficit. Meanwhile, former Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes is speaking out about his forced resignation, saying he was never given a clear reason for why Mayor Katie Wilson lost confidence in him. Barnes has this to share on the Gee and Ursula Show Monday morning.
What I heard was that I was going to be asked to resign and that a subsequent meeting was going to be held the following day, and then I turned things over to my attorney.
Barnes says he met with the mayor regularly and tried to address the city's concerns, but ultimately he said it's the mayor's call. He says he leaves the office with his integrity intact and with gratitude for community support. A man connected to the deadly 2020 mass shooting near 3rd and Pine in downtown Seattle is now free. William Tolliver has been released from prison. A woman died and 7 others were wounded in that gunfight, including a 9-year-old boy. Tolliver and another man were acquitted of murder, but he later pleaded guilty to manslaughter and assault and got a 4-year sentence. The upcoming release of Practical Magic 2 is putting a Washington town back in the spotlight. Coopville on Whidbey Island featured the original Practical Magic and is welcoming fans with themed events and tours of famous filming locations.
You're saying what I'm feeling is just one of your spells?
Yeah, it's not real.
Community leaders tell the Seattle Times the sequel is expected to bring another boost in tourism nearly 3 decades after the first movie arrived. And now for your forecast. It's a calm day so far with partly cloudy conditions. Highs will be in the low to mid 70s. Tomorrow, though, prepare for showers and cooler temperatures on Thursday. Right now, it's about 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Yesterday, we talked to someone from reality TV, Dr. Sean Best, and had him on the show, played the clips, and Ursula, come to find out that Dr. Jason Johnson, those two had no idea, are really good friends.
Oh.
So Dr. Johnson starts sending me pictures of them traveling over the last 10 years. And he was like, I had no idea he was going to be on your show. And my takeaway from this, and by the way, that clip on our social media is now starting to go viral now because I tell you what, I don't think that you should do a reality show. Because no matter what,
it usually doesn't end well.
It does not end well. Like, for Dr. Sean Best, one of those things is we only interviewed him for, I don't know how long was
20
it?
minutes, maybe. 15.
If that.
Yes.
And after that, there were so many questions that we both still had, and I really would have wished that we could have got to those questions because I don't like the fact that after that interview, I had so many people hit me up, including my wife.
A lot of people had a lot of opinions about him.
And like 95% of them were negative.
Yes, I will admit,
and I just
yes.
don't agree. I just don't think we know enough, but that reality show is enough.
Well, the way they edited it is part, because he seemed very charming here, but almost without exception, everyone was weighing in saying, yeah, he came across as a creep.
Right. And I'm not justifying anything. Their word. I'm not justifying anything. I think that this goes to show you there's a real dilemma going from nobody knowing you one day and then instant fame and everybody knowing you the next.
Yeah. Well, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Would you ever dare be part of a reality show? Because you could also look at it this way. Before, no one really knew who he was.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, he might be notorious or he might not like how people perceive him, but he is more of a name.
Yeah. Yeah.
He could parlay that into something. So anyway, text us. The other thing is, a big question right now is, will Seattle teachers go on strike tomorrow? And I've got a question for all of you. Does it seem like they're either walking out or threatening to do so right before school starts more than other districts around the state? Well, coming up, we're going to explain why there's a good reason you might feel that way.
All right, let's get to it. Top stories of the day brought to you by Pittergas Law.
A woman was killed. A 9-year-old boy was shot. 7 other people were wounded in a downtown Seattle mass shooting back in 2020. You might recall that one. Right now, though, one of the men charged in that horrible crime is already out of prison. William Tolliver was charged in the shooting at 3rd and Pine. Originally, he was facing first-degree murder and 6 counts of assault, but the case changed after the other accused shooter, Marquise Tolbert, was acquitted of murder and assault after he successfully argued that he only fired in self-defense. So you have to understand that verdict made the original case against William Tolliver much harder to prove, so prosecutors reached a plea deal on reduced charges, including second-degree manslaughter. He ended up getting 4 years of a sentence and served a little more than 3. And police say this was a gang shooting between 2 people who already had long rap sheets. Between the 2 of them, they had 65 prior arrests and 4 felony convictions. And even with all that, do you remember Tolliver was released on electronic monitoring while awaiting trial, and then ended up getting sent back to jail after allegedly threatening someone with a gun while that happened. So he's out again, and I ask, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, this is a failure. This is a failure all the way around. They failed the 7 people that were injured. They failed the woman that was killed. There is no way that gang beef results in a woman killed, 7 other people shot, and you mean to tell me that after all of this, the most was 4 years, and you get a chance to come out here? I'm not claiming to be an expert, and I did read what Charlie's commentary was. I do think that he did a good job with his commentary this morning. But there's a lot of factors, a few factors that come into play, and I would like to really talk to those that they overcharged in the beginning. And what I mean by overcharged, they started out with first-degree murder. And that right there in itself, that wasn't going to hold up, the first-degree murder charge. Because and this wasn't premeditated, it potentially was the self-defense in which Charlie talks about in this, the whole self-defense thing. But self-defense or not, there is no way you are responsible for the bullets that come out of that gun. You are responsible that 7 people got shot. You are responsible that a woman is dead. And you mean to tell me 4 years is the accountability factor?
It is outrageous. And
it's crazy.
If you didn't hear Charlie's commentary, I strongly suggest that you listen to it. Find it on mynorthwest.com. But in it, he says correctly that Washington law already says you cannot start a fight and then claim self-defense. But when you have a chaotic shootout like this one, prosecutors still have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt who actually started it. And if you think about it, that can be nearly impossible when there are several people firing. This is also the case in the Bite of Seattle shooting just recently. The witnesses scatter, as you know, people clam up, and nobody can say for sure who fired first. So right now, someone can arm themselves, go out, look for a fight, exchange gunfire in a crowded public place, and then still claim self-defense if prosecutors cannot prove that that person fired first. And so the question that Charlie was mentioning this morning for lawmakers is whether Washington should close that loophole. And absolutely, I would say yes, because for someone like Tolliver, I mean, he was already given a chance. He'd already had, between the two of them, 65 convictions and between, or charges, excuse me, and between and then between the two of them, they're already out. And in the case of Tolliver, when he was released the first time, he committed another gun-related crime. I mean, what do you think could go wrong?
Obviously, there's no fix to this case. They dropped the ball. System failure right here. Now, the question going forward is will they learn from this? If this happens again, will they learn? I say the first step is this is what I'm not saying it's all of it, but when you overcharge this way, right, this is a potential of something like this happening. I hope that they learn from this, and where someone else is killed in a situation like this and someone doesn't just go and serve, like you said, 65 between them both convictions in the past. Like, we're not talking about oopsies. 65. Like, do you know what you got to do in life to have 65 between two people?
Yeah, they had 65 prior arrests and then 4 convictions between the two of them.
Sorry about the convictions. Yes.
Yeah, because exactly. I mean, these are not innocent folks who just happen to be at that the busiest intersection downtown in the middle of rush hour and opened fire. I mean, clearly they have absolutely no regard for human life, and they basically got away with it. And it's disgusting. Okay, let's move on, because there are a lot of families right now that don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Seattle teachers could go on strike, and the fight that could keep nearly 50,000 kids out of school is increasingly centered on special ed. Seattle Public Schools wants to overhaul how it serves more than 7,000 students with disabilities, and the district says its plan, this is from the district, says its plan would allow more kids to stay in their neighborhood schools. They claim it would improve staffing ratios for most students with IEPs and add new support positions. But the teachers union sees it very differently. SEA says the district's plan would actually get rid or reshuffle hundreds of existing teacher and paraeducator positions, leaving some of the highest need students with less support. And unfortunately, the negotiations have gotten ugly, and Superintendent Ben Schuldiner says the union came back with a proposal that would have cost millions more than its earlier offer, which the district considered bad faith bargaining.
It's difficult because we're broke. If we had money, I would love to give it to everybody. But the problem is we don't. And so when we don't have the money, it makes these kinds of discussions and decisions very, very difficult.
The union accuses the district of refusing to negotiate anything else until that special ed issue is resolved. So a mediator is involved. If no deal is figured out by tonight, teachers on strike tomorrow. First day of school.
Problem is the Seattle School District has a superintendent that is very clear and articulate with things. And that's rare. Here is someone that is clearly able to say, hey, everyone, I just want you guys to know, yes, obviously we do have a problem. But on March 6th of this year, we wanted to have these meetings. And they didn't get back to us until 4 months. And one of the things that I learned is sometimes, by the way, I do get things wrong. And when I do get things wrong, there's usually some type of correction, and they'll hit us up on the show. I said yesterday that, and read, according to what he had said, that they had gone almost 4 months without getting that meeting. Nobody has hit us up, Ursula, and tell us that that's wrong. So that lets me know it's true. 4 months. And then when 4 months goes around, it's millions more than it would have been. So this is one of those things where I can guarantee you that people that are fighting about this, arguing about this, you know what they don't know about? They don't know what it's like to have to scramble for childcare the next day. They don't know what it's like. Right now, there are families right now in the Seattle School District that don't know about childcare tomorrow. Paycheck to paycheck. I bet you. Because if they did, it wouldn't have taken 4 months to have that meeting. If they did, there would be a clear understanding. Hey, listen, we need to meet, negotiate. Let's get this done early so we're not even getting close to that deadline. So now here we are, the night before, someone with, not someone, there's a lot of people in the Seattle School District that maybe don't have childcare figured out. Now, for all the people fighting about this, maybe you have childcare. You're good. You might have loved ones to take care of your child. So again, it makes me really upset when these fights happen with people who don't have anything to worry about.
Mm. Yeah, I would be furious if I had a kid in the Seattle School District. I mean, these families keep getting jerked around. Seattle teachers have already gone on strike twice in just the past 11 years. That was in 2015, 2022. But Chef actually pulled some numbers. In between those strikes, contract negotiations have repeatedly gone down to the very final days. So you were saying, yeah, the district offered 4 months beforehand. No, they're purposely waiting until the final days before school so that parents are left scrambling and they think that they have more leverage. No other large school district in Washington has put families through that kind of first week school uncertainty as consistently as the Seattle Education Association. And I'm not anti-union, and I know you are not either.
No.
But that is infuriating. I mean, and if you look at what the district is offering, even though it really is broke, I think what they're offering is fair. I mean, get the special ed things, which special ed teachers and paraeducators are usually not given enough attention. So I'm hoping that they can work something out. But I'll just say this. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Seattle Public Schools is already losing students. I mean, remember after the pandemic, the exodus that happened. Mm-hmm. If you keep making the beginning of school unreliable and people are scrambling constantly, you are giving families another reason to leave.
Right.
En masse. And once they leave, good luck trying to get them back.
You guys going to get mad at me because every time we talk about this topic, I'm going to keep asking the same question. Why did it take almost 4 months to have that meeting? What was holding things up? Did you do that on purpose, or was it an accident? Was it a missed email that went to spam? What was the holdup in that almost 4 months? That right there is inexcusable. And by the way, we are on the side of, yes, we want things to be right for the teachers. We're pro-union, not against that at all. But that's not in good faith. Something is up about that almost 4 months.
Speaking of school, the University of Washington is now considering much tougher rules for campus protests, and we're talking about big change. Students could be disciplined not just for what they do themselves, but for damage caused by other protesters at the same demonstration. And this comes, remember last year, the takeover of the UW engineering building?
Yep.
And the university said that about $1 million in damage was done. Police ended up arresting more than 30 people, but no one was charged with causing that damage. KIRO 7 TV is reporting that the new rules would also allow UW to discipline protesters who cover their faces or refuse to identify themselves to school officials.
I have personally dealt with the conduct process and seen it be abused. I've been hit with a number of cases that were retaliatory.
I think that this is something that the university is very intentionally trying to include to make people more scared to go out to protest or to even participate in organizations that are trying to hold the university accountable.
If we can't talk about the issues, then the issues never get addressed. So I think it's very important, and these changes make it really hard.
So the UW Board of Regents is going to vote on this September 9th.
We should have slid this over to 1047. We should have slid this over to common sense. I'm telling you, $1 million. Who pays for that? Who pays for that?
Well, ultimately,
and just miss me with all. Look, if you got something you want to protest, by all means, get out there, protest, let your voice be heard. Please do. Like I said, I'm speaking for me, not for you, Dub, or anybody else. I am not for holding someone back from going out and letting their voice be heard. But letting your voice be heard and damaging property. Listen, hey, we heard what you said, but just so you know, there's an invoice. Yeah, you caused about $10,000 of damage. Love what you had to say, though. We listened to that. But there's an invoice for $10,000. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
I mean, we're big believers in the right to demonstrate and the freedom of speech.
I am.
But that right does not include you trashing a building or taking it over and causing $1 million in damage. That was ludicrous. And sadly, actions have consequences. And the UW is saying, well, these are the consequences. And again, the proposed rules don't stop you from protesting. They're meant to stop people from using protest as cover to behave like a destructive punk.
Now, I'm sure that there are people behind any type of, whether it's for or against this whole, the consequences of destruction, right? I'm sure that there are people that don't want people to protest. No, I mean, that's clear. There are people who don't want people to get up their rights, and sometimes they might try to do something to try to discourage that. Look, we know that to be true. I mean, look at voting. That's another topic we'll talk about later. But this is just a common sense thing. And I know in the history, we know what has been in the past. I'm just saying what's right now. $1 million in damage. Who pays for that? And by the way, in real time, we should go back and pull up what we were saying in real time.
Yes.
When that was happening.
I think it was the same thing.
We were literally saying the same thing.
Yeah, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Washington State forked over more than $500 million to settle lawsuits last year. And now lawmakers want to limit the damages child victims can collect. We'll talk about it next, Gee Ursula.
The Jake and Spike Show, weekdays noon to 3.
Dolly Parton's a force of nature. You lose your icons as time marches forward, and and when you get to be my age, and I'm a lot older than you or Laura are.
With Dolly, what's interesting is different generations here.
Absolutely.
But everybody has some touchstone with her. You either knew who she was because she's like she's always been there. My entire life, she's been a super famous presence.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live or later on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Summertime is almost over, but at the same time, DUI arrests are still going up. Please be safe out there and don't make the mistake of drinking and driving. But if you do make that mistake, DUI Heroes is here to help you get your life back together. They defend you, the person, the human, and during these traumatizing and stressful times, they are there for you. This is why you have to call 1-800-DUI-HERO. There for a free case evaluation. 1-800-DUI-HERO or DUIHeroes.com.
What if the retirement plan you think you have isn't enough? Marshall and Ellen thought they were prepared.
We certainly thought we had all documents. We'd done the wills and the power of attorney and all that stuff.
Then they attended a seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich at LifePoint Law.
The bigger parts of how that all plays out was definitely helpful.
LifePoint Law showed them what they were missing.
There were things we never thought of that made total sense once they were brought up. To have things planned so that your family isn't left with a mess or having to deal with things that they don't know anything about.
So what's their advice?
People wait too long. Get started, figure out what you want to do. Don't wait too long. Make those decisions and look at all your options.
Attend an upcoming seminar in Redmond, September 12th, Gig Harbor on the 15th, Olympia on the 17th, or Federal Way, September 19th. Reservations are free today, but space is limited. Learn more at lifepointlaw.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. You know the saying, save it for a rainy day? Don't do that when it comes to replacing your roof. The weather might be nice right now, but we know how fast the weather changes. Fall storms are just around the corner, and contractor schedules are filling up fast. If a new roof has been on your to-do list, don't risk another wet fall and winter. Call Valentine Roofing now. With Valentine's priority scheduling, your new roof project can get started in as little as 3 weeks. In about an hour, you'll get a fair estimate with honest, upfront pricing before the seasonal demand picks up. With approved financing, there's no money down, and you won't pay until your roofing project is complete. And when you call Valentine for your next project, you're going to get the same Valentine experience I did. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. Thousands of homeowners across the Puget Sound, like me, trust Valentine Roofing to protect what matters most. Don't wait for the first leak. Call 206 Roofing today to get started within 3 weeks. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red van, you know your home is in good hands.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through September 8th, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years for new Xfinity customers. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC at MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Right now, save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Honest pricing, guaranteed work, 16 family-owned locations, and no appointment needed. Stay cool this summer. Bucky's.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gouchard. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the construction on President Trump's ballroom can continue for now. In a 5-4 opinion, the majority said the National Trust for Historic Preservation lacks standing to bring forward a lawsuit. More from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
We saw Chief Justice John Roberts join the liberal justices, the three of them, in a dissent that he wrote. And he said that the ruling is, quote, no victory for the separation of powers, and that this is likely unlawful. Very significant right there, but obviously not the majority. The decision now really preserves the status quo. The construction will continue, and they said that the National Trust didn't have standing, so it's not clear at this point what the next step would be in terms of who might bring another challenge.
Before the recount, the margin was just 4 votes, so what about after the recount?
In a Bellingham area state Senate primary, the hand recount didn't change the tally at all, according to the Washington State Standard. Democrat Michael Shepard tops fellow Democrat Eamon Collins, 13,125 votes to 13,121, a margin of 4. Shepard now moves on to the general election in November, where he'll face Republican Erica Crite for the vacant Senate seat in the state's 42nd legislative district. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
The parents of a man shot and killed by a Pierce County deputy are suing, saying law enforcement made a mental health crisis worse. The News Tribune reports Thomas and Patricia Kazazi filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the county and 2 sheriff's deputies. Their son, 42-year-old Jonathan Luxon, was killed back in June of 2024 after deputies responded to a domestic dispute call at a mobile home park near Tacoma. The caller said their brother had a knife. The suit claims the deputies failed to de-escalate before the fatal shooting. The reigning NFL Offensive Player of the Year checks in at number 5 on the league's top 100 players list.
JSN on the left side, wide open.
It's the first time Jackson Smith-Njigba made the list voted by the players themselves. JSN led the league last season with nearly 1,800 receiving yards. He's the 3rd Seahawks on this year's list, joining QB Sam Darnold and linebacker Ernest Jones. Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. It's still a struggle out of the north end this morning. It's still over an hour from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue. It's about an hour and 15 all the way from the Everett area. Better Way to Seattle is getting better. That drive is now 45 minutes. The Valley Freeway is still under 40 minutes. Renton to Bellevue is also 40 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. Partly cloudy skies for your forecast today. Highs will be in the low to mid 70s. Tomorrow it's going to get some rain on us, and it's going to be even cooler on Thursday. Right now, it's about 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gouchard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Tuesday to all of you. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO. If it seems like there is a lawsuit that is settled and the state pays out or the city pays out or the county pays out, and you just keep thinking, it's like, man, when are we going to cap the amount of money that just keeps going out in these settlements? Well, the state is actually considering that. They are considering capping victim damages to stop the bleeding from record lawsuit payouts. Get this. Last year alone, the state paid a record $537 million in settlements and court verdicts, plus another $76 million to defend those cases. 5 years ago, even, the payouts were closer to $100 million. So a lot of this stems from abuse and neglect involving the Department of Children, Youth, and Families, including cases dating back decades. Local governments are also getting hammered by soaring claims and insurance costs. And so, again, lawmakers are looking for ways to stop all this financial hemorrhaging, including limits on government liability and potentially capping how much victims can recover.
I apologize.
Why?
Because I started laughing before you can even finish. And by the way, it wasn't a real laugh. It was more of a nervous chuckle.
Yes.
Like, I can't believe I'm listening to this. Okay, so let's slow it down. You're saying right now, to get to the bottom of this, right now they are looking to put a cap on what victims can get, right?
Yes.
Hey, everybody, they want to put a cap. So basically, if something happens to you, the fix is, hey, listen, we're going to put less of a fix in prevention. All of these problems that we have, we ain't going to do that. What we're going to do is, everybody, when something happens to you or your loved ones, we're going to put a cap on that. We're going to keep qualified immunity for law enforcement. We're going to keep all of these things in place. We're not going to be better about those things. This actually reminds me of the homelessness crisis that we talk about all the time. We want to put all this energy into what happens when they're already unhoused. But boy, if we got somebody living paycheck to paycheck, barely making it, and if I mention anything about raising the wages of people, gee, you can't do that. What about the business owners, gee? You can't do that. This is that exact thing right here. So I'll just be clear, Ursula. If a victim and these folks out here, if they have something happen to them, they absolutely deserve a financial justice. I just wish that they would do more on the prevention side, like I think I hit home with you.
Yes, you did, because the first thing I thought of when I was reading this story was record payouts means record incompetence when it comes to leadership.
Ooh. You got to say that one.
Yeah, because I look at it as poor management, and I get it. For DCYF, these are cases dating back decades when more things were overlooked, maybe didn't receive as much scrutiny, and there were people who were truly harmed who deserve these payouts. But again, like you said, instead of capping how much victims can get, how about putting more energy into making sure that people are doing their jobs when they know that there is a problem, not looking the other way and just still taking in more money without having some kind of financial accountability and demonstrated effectiveness in what they're doing, whether it's for this particular department or not. I mean, one of the things that we do see here is that most states actually do impose caps on financial damages, and they say those limits should be between $200,000 to $500,000. But again, my hope would be that more energy was given toward prevention.
Now, I'll ask this one next. Now that we're on this topic, do you think that people pay attention to topics like this? because it seems like we pay more attention to the 25,000 people that would be impacted by the millionaire's tax out of 8 million people here in the state than we would about something like this. And I'm just wondering if we're going to see some type of fight in this state to advocate for something like this. Would they fight and put energy into, hey, no, we're going to fight for there being any type of cap when it comes to financial consequences given to victims? And so when we have these type of things, I think that we are so used to this. It is so baked in that we are okay with the increase. Like you said, Washington State paid $537 million last year in lawsuit settlements and verdicts. Even though we know, where does that money come from?
Of course, taxpayers.
So I think that the reason why this does not get the attention, because I think it's baked in. I think we're used to it. I think we understand that that's the cost of doing business. When some person in this profession that's by the state or city and they mess up, like, oh man, that's messed up. Okay.
I'm going to guess that for a lot of people, they're hearing this for the first time. And part of that speaks to all of it is baked in. It doesn't get the kind of attention if you were to say state income tax, which, in fairness, has been something that voters have rejected repeatedly over and over and over again. And it's easier to comprehend, hey, even though it's millionaires today, it could be me tomorrow.
Oh, that's a real good strategy.
I
just want to say that's a real good strategy. We've seen that before, though. Like, hey, just so you know, yes, this is happening now. Yes. But hey, if this happens, there's a fear of this. It's almost like America has been running that same play for a long time. Because if they move into your neighborhood now, you know what that's going to mean, right?
I mean, Brian from Arlington says the millionaire's tax is coming for all of us.
There is something new, though, when it comes to the record lawsuits. So there's a reason why these lawsuits are happening to the tune of $500 million last year compared to $72 million in 2018. And it just comes down to a court decision. In the past, kids in foster care generally couldn't sue the state if the foster parents harmed them.
Mm-hmm.
There is a ruling that changed that, so it's not record incompetence happening now. It's a change of opinion on who can sue for what. It's more complex than that, but that's a basic explanation.
Hey, Chef, when did that change happen, roundabout, you think?
The court case?
Yeah, as far as when it changed, as far as you just said that there used to be a point in time that you could not sue for harm done by you by the state. Is that what you said?
No, it used to be that if my foster parents abused me, I couldn't hold the state liable for it.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That changed in 2018.
2018. Wow. Just think about how many people, like, hey, no matter what your foster parent did to you, you cannot sue the state.
Yeah. Well, and again, too, 5 years ago, payouts were $100 million. That was still after that suit. But now it's just, yep.
Yeah.
Payout.
The future of our world might not depend on who we elect, but who's in charge of the biggest tech companies on the planet. And do you think that these billionaires have any impact on our laws that we have today? Well, we'll have a discussion next because somebody just retired. Gee Ursula.
At Carrier, we know that a comfortable home is a happy one. Whether it's with innovative breakthroughs in heating and cooling efficiency, or with different ways to control your home's temperature and air quality, we're always imagining new ways to make your home totally comfortable.
Turn to the experts and let your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer improve your home's comfort and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find an expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. And if there's two things you can count on, it's your smoke detector battery dying at 3 a.m. Not 3 p.m. on a Saturday when you have nothing going on, but in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep.
Oh, come on!
Get 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Just one more thing you can count on. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers, available in all states or situations.
Stop wasting your nights on a mattress that doesn't get you. Experience the most comfortable mattress in the world. The Sleep Number Smart Bed. At the touch of a button, you can personalize your comfort. Choose firmer or softer. Adjust cooler to warmer. And right now, save up to $2,500 during our massive Labor Day event. Hurry into your local Sleep Number store today, because we have your number.
Anthony Hamilton with Tony, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Thursday, September 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
You bought an RV and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Hey, Jake Skorheim here. If you have a new roof on your to-do list, don't wait until the weather changes and risk another wet fall and winter. Call Valentine Roofing now. With Valentine's priority scheduling, your roofing project can get started in as little as 3 weeks. Plus, with approved financing, there's no money down and you don't pay until your roof is complete. So don't wait for the first leak. Call 206 Roofing today to get started within 3 weeks. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub. Our Swim Into Savings event is here, and it is huge. Special savings plus a factory rebate mean up to $20,000 off an endless pool swim spa package. That's our biggest savings of the year. Swim, relax, and feel amazing right in your own backyard. Do not miss this. It ends September 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Right now, save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Honest pricing, guaranteed work, 16 family-owned locations, and no appointment needed. Stay cool this summer. Bucky's.com.
Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery, and she was home the next day. But we weren't sure if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that she needed, so we called Ageless Living and asked about respite care. A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Ageless Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and schedule a visit. It can be a much-needed break for a caregiver and a chance for you and your family to get a look and a taste of what Ageless Living offers. That's agelessliving.com/spike.
The future of our world might not depend on who we elect. It might depend just as much on who's running the biggest tech companies on the planet. And today, one of the biggest leadership changes in tech history is officially happening. Tim Cook is stepping down as CEO of Apple after 15 years, and John Ternus takes over today. Ternus has been with Apple for 25 years and helped lead the hardware teams behind products like iPad, AirPods, and Apple Watch. Cook isn't disappearing. He'll become executive chairman of Apple's board. But think about the scale of this type of handoff. When Cook took over from Steve Jobs in 2011, Apple was worth $350 billion. Today, worth around $4 trillion. And the next person running it won't just be deciding what the next iPhone looks like. He'll have enormous influence over AI, privacy, communication, health technology, and how billions of people interact with the digital world. Tim Cook steps down, Ursula, as CEO after 15 years.
Why did this actually catch your attention? Because I saw it too, and I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious why it really stood out to you this morning.
Because I'm never going to forget the CEOs, the billionaires that were in place and that were standing behind Donald Trump during the inauguration. I will never let my grandkids forget who they were. All of the people right now that are saying, oh, this isn't what I voted for. I keep saying this very simple. There are people that stood at that inauguration that were billionaires that were solely thinking about the future of their company and their money. Because right now, the top 1%, 2% here in this country are doing very well financially. You can go and look at tax cuts and breaks and everything that is happening for these big companies. And then there's a fraction of the country that just loves to keep their racism going. So you got that going as well. But I'm not putting the racism jacket on Tim Cook. I'm putting the financial, worried about their company, worried about being worth $4 trillion. And right now, that's what companies are doing. They're worrying about the future of them. And right now, we people, we need to worry about the future of us. Hence the reason why we keep continuing to hear about layoffs. We just had some more here locally. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I'm looking at Tim Cook, sure, Tim Cook, great job. The person you're bringing in, you've done a great job with iPad. I have one. You did a great job with AirPods. I got that. You did a great job with Apple Watch. I got that. Oh, my goodness. Technology, you did fantastic. But this is what is really happening in this country. The people that are in charge of these big tech companies, they're not just in charge of tech. They're in charge of the world. Elon Musk, in charge of X. Mark Zuckerberg, in charge of Meta. Like, these billionaires literally control the world. And the politicians, they control them. So that's why the Tim Cook stood out to me.
Interesting. Because when I started looking into the story behind Tim Cook, and I saw that, it went from a $350 billion company to $4 trillion. I mean, which is just astounding when you look at those numbers. But he's just not someone who I paid a whole lot of attention to. And as you were bringing up that image of the folks who maybe would have normally been critical of this administration, but stood there proudly because they knew, hey, I'm going to do what it takes to enrich myself and enrich the company. The only fight back that we have as consumers or as quote unquote regular people is to boycott their products. And I think a lot of people are just not willing to do that.
I respectfully, Ursula, whenever you bring up that argument about boycotting their products, I mean, like, we're in a situation where there's only so much technology. There's only so much portals and ways that we can get things. Fortunately or unfortunately, there's some products that, you know what, we might not be able to boycott, right? That's like something that is happening inside of here. Let's just say all of a sudden we find out that somebody from ChatGPT or from Claude or some of these members are being that way. You know what, man, from here on out, I'm going to boycott ChatGPT or I'm going to boycott Claude. Like, we have items and stuff and things that is kind of hard to do those things.
But you could make some decisions in terms of, I'm not going to buy that Apple Watch, or I'm not going to buy, just in terms of little things that you actually do. A lot of people have done that with Target. I actually commend those people. They were principled and said, you know what? Target's lost my business because of decisions that they've made.
Top tech reporter for the New York Times, Kara Swisher. She's legend. She famously tried to do this. She tried to quit Amazon. She said even unsubscribing from Amazon, getting rid of all of their products, it was impossible because of AWS. Like, Amazon's tech touches everything. And it's the same with all the top 5.
Mm-hmm. All right. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, find out a 76-year-old with stage 4 prostate cancer is being denied the opportunity to go get treatments. We'll tell you what that has to do with ice next. Gee and Ursula.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO Newsradio.
Did you see what Olympia is calling their latest new tax?
The millionaire's tax? Yep.
You know, it's really an income tax.
So what's the difference?
A millionaire's tax doesn't sound like it applies to you, but it does. Olympia created the income tax and refused to limit it. They left the door open to tax everyone, including you.
So what do we do?
Vote yes on Initiative 645. It repeals the income tax completely, so Olympia can't expand it and get into your paycheck.
Wait, we're repealing an income tax?
Yes, we're repealing an income tax.
And we vote yes to repeal it?
Yes. Vote yes to repeal the income tax.
Okay. Vote yes to repeal the income tax.
Well, see, they picked that name on purpose. Tell your friends vote yes on Initiative 645. Let's repeal the income tax. Visit voteyes645.com for more information. Paid for by Vote Yes, Repeal the Income Tax. Top 5 contributors, BIAW Member Services Corp., Peter and Liz Moorkill, Catalan Solutions, Inc., Steve Gordon.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The jury in the Lindsay Clancy trial back deliberating, the judge telling them to stay the course even after they signaled they could not reach a verdict. Clancy is charged with the killing of her 3 children and says she suffered from postpartum psychosis. The jury must decide if she had criminal intent. Here's ABC's Karen Katursky.
They said they are unable to come to a unanimous decision, so it indicates the jury is stuck on what we don't know, but the judge gave them instructions to keep trying. We're not sure how long the judge will allow that to go on, but he said, I know it was a long trial. He encouraged them to follow their instructions and to keep deliberating.
Rescue efforts continuing in Nepal with more than 1,000 confirmed dead, 4,500 others missing from catastrophic glacial breakaway and flooding, including Americans. Tropical storm Edouard is targeting the Gulf Coast, expected to make landfall later today along the Texas-Louisiana border. This is ABC News. President Trump's new policy on imported beef taking effect today, allowing millions of pounds of beef into the country at a reduced tariff rate.
The going rate for ground beef, according to federal figures, is $6.89 per pound. On the American ranches where that meat comes from,
there's definitely a crisis when it comes to cattle right now.
Michigan cattle raiser Kevin Minnie says that allowing cheaper imported beef into the market may eventually lower prices for consumers. But at the same time,
the overall herd size in the United States is the lowest that it's been since 1951.
He says the imports may hamper efforts to grow that herd. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
New York City authorities say 2 people were stabbed, one fatally in Times Square Monday. The suspect, identified as 49-year-old Pamela Cisneros, fatally shot by police after refusing, authorities say, to drop 2 knives. Police say that the attacker had a documented mental health history with the department in 2 incidents that dated back to both 2018 and 19. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Will Seattle kids be in class tomorrow? A teacher strike deadline is just hours away. Now let's get a check on the roads. The north end right now, that drive is getting a little better. It's just under an hour from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue. It's still at least an hour and 10 minutes all the way from Everett. Federal Way to Seattle is getting better. That drive still at 45 minutes. Valley Freeway remains under 40. Renton to Bellevue about 30 minutes right now. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. There's just a few hours left for Seattle Public Schools to reach a deal with its teachers union. The strike deadline is tonight at midnight. The first day of school is supposed to be tomorrow. Both sides were negotiating late into the night with a new mediator. Superintendent Ben Schuldener has also been personally involved.
As the superintendent, you hope for the best and you plan for the worst. And that's why I wanted to make sure that the families knew that we were going to have food, that the nonprofits that do before care and after care, if they're able to do it.
He says he's briefed principals who can answer questions for families if they have them. At issue, changes to special education, class sizes, and pay raises, and a multi-million-dollar budget deficit. It's a big day for the youngest students in the Issaquah School District. KIRO 7 TV's Tyre Majors is outside Clark Elementary School.
The district serves more than 18,500 students across 27 schools in East King County. And while today is all about kindergarten, there are several changes underway across the district, including new electric school buses now in operation for the very first time. School District Superintendent Heather Talyuk says this was made possible by renewed voter-approved levies.
Drivers in Redmond, take your foot off the gas. Speed safety cameras at Redmond High School, Redmond Middle School, and Rose Middle School are back on. Redmond police say citations are now being issued to drivers caught speeding in school zones. A domestic violence call in Pierce County escalated to an armed standoff.
This is your last chance.
Beanbag, beanbag!
Really? Deputies say a 44-year-old man who was the victim's ex-husband violated a court order by showing up outside her bedroom window last week. Deputies eventually took him into custody and later found a revolver on the passenger side floorboard. He's facing multiple charges. A few cows committed a moving violation Monday morning when they got onto southbound I-5 near Marysville. They took the 172nd Street exit and wandered into a shopping center. A citizen cowboy with a lasso, state troopers and Marysville police wrangled them up.
Okay. Are you guys good? I'm going to tie it.
All cows are now home safe. Now for your forecast on this Tuesday morning, we've got some low clouds. Afternoon sunshine is on the way. Highs today will be in the low 70s. Tomorrow we've got showers. Right now it's about 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's the first of the month, everybody. That's right. September 1st, I think it's 121 days that are left in this year. So 121 days. Have you accomplished what you wanted to accomplish in the year 2026? Or are you just waiting for another 121 days to say, this is all about this 2027? New year, new me. All the sayings that they come up with. So are you ready? 121 days. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. Out of curiosity, if you had to give a title or some kind of feeling or a label for 2026, what has 2026 been for you?
I woke up. That's probably the best label I can really give for myself. Mm-hmm. I woke up in all areas of my life.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Woke up. Well, how about you?
My saying for 2026, I mentioned it on my birthday. This phrase has a lot of meaning for me. And it's perché no, or perché no, which is why not? And I'm going about life like, you know what? I'm going to open my eyes to that. I'm going to open my eyes to this new adventure. I'm going to say, hey, why not? And I love it, and it's worked out well for me. What is your feeling for, or saying, or your motto about 2026? Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. And let's get to it.
What's new at 10?
This hour, we want to focus on a 76-year-old green card holder with stage 4 prostate cancer who has now spent more than 2 months locked up at the ICE detention center in Tacoma. The Seattle Times reports Laredo Javar has lived legally in the U.S. for more than 30 years. I said legally. Renewed his green card multiple times and has no criminal history in this country. And Javar was not arrested during some immigration sweep. He actually showed up for an appointment on his application to become a U.S. citizen. And ICE detained him at that interview in Tequila in June. And at the time, he was undergoing treatment for stage 4 prostate cancer. His family says he has now missed several doctor's appointments. ICE is claiming that the issue involving this guy goes back more than 50 years. And they say that he failed to disclose a criminal conviction in the Philippines when he applied to come to the U.S. back in 1995, and that conviction would have made him inadmissible. So his family is now asking that he be released so that this 76-year-old man can continue his cancer treatment at home.
And the most important thing that you guys need to know is up to date. He was continuing to do everything right. Now, 2 things can happen at the same time. One, let's get to the bottom of why it was missed, of what happened with his conviction in the Philippines. As a matter of fact, his family didn't even know about that conviction before he came over to the United States. Since he has been in the United States, he has committed, nothing. Clean record, paid taxes, did everything that he was supposed to do since he's been in America. Okay, so right now, there's a discrepancy. You need to find out what happened over in the Philippines in that conviction. If that's the case, fine. But here's somebody that you picked up at an appointment to make sure that his green card was up to date, and he had been doing that for years. The least that you can do is let him out for cancer treatments. I mean, this is a lot of the news that we talk about, and the reason sometimes where it's hard for me to do sometimes this job and talking about this is because it is crazy how we just lose all about humanity. You know what I mean? Like, that's the big topic right there. And I'm bringing that up because there are people that get so aligned with this is how we used to do things, and this is what my party says, and this is what my political affiliation, this is what they agree with. And they forget all about the humanity part of things. Okay, yes, there's something that just came up that happened in the Philippines 30 plus years ago. All right, get to the bottom of that. But can you really, you guys are okay with them holding him and missing his cancer treatments?
The thing, exactly. And there is a lack of humanity here. He is a 76-year-old, as you said, has done everything right. And this criminal conviction, yes, I mean, it is correct if you have a conviction that was not disclosed. Yes, that would have been inadmissible. But now he's here. Is this the worst of the worst that we're trying to get? Are we still thinking that this is the person that we want to deport after he's made a whole life here? And especially if he already served the time in the Philippines, which I'm guessing he did for that conviction in the Philippines.
He served 3 years.
Yeah,
in the Philippines.
So there you go. I mean, so he's already served time, and yes, he's been here, and it's like, you've got to apply some humanity. You have to have a due process, and that's the biggest part. So, I mean, people get hung up on that. Well, he didn't follow the rules back in 1995. But again, is this the person that we want to target in these deportations? Seriously?
Unfortunately, when they were talking about mass deportations, unfortunately, when we're talking about ICE terrorizing communities, you know what, Ursula? Yeah. There are people that are okay with that. There are people that are okay with ICE wearing masks, going to people's jobs, going to their court cases, appointments, going to green card appointments, meeting them at airports. They're okay with that. And this is the reason why the majority of these folks, some of these folks, didn't even have a conviction. So, yeah, unfortunately, there's way too many people that are okay with, as long as they are right with their politics and doing away with human decency.
Let's turn our attention to the roads, because do you know that Seattle traffic is improving faster than almost every other major city in the country, basically, when it comes to our daily commute? This actually comes from Seattle Times columnist Gene Balk, the FYI guy. He looked at the latest census numbers and found that Seattle's average one-way commute dropped by 2.5 minutes between the years of 2019 and 2024. Obviously, there was the pandemic. But that was tied for the third biggest improvement among the 50 largest U.S. cities. And for someone commuting 5 days a week, Balk says that that's more than 20 hours a year that you are no longer spending stuck in traffic getting to and from work. And the biggest reason is because we were big champions of remote work.
Still champions.
And some businesses and some county agencies and some city agencies have a real hard time getting people back in. But about a quarter of Seattle's employed residents now still work from home, which means fewer people clogging the roads during rush hour. Do you notice it? Do you notice the big change?
I do. And I think I notice it really when the best indicator for me is when I'm going home. I don't think it's a good indicator when I'm coming in because it's so early in the morning. But I do notice it on the roads when I'm going back south because that commute is a little bit shorter than it used to be. But I'll just say this. Are we still champions of this whole work from home still? Like, y'all, are you really?
If you look at what's going on downtown, you'd say that people are still embracing it hard. If you look at county and city government,
well, then you know what?
In King County, oh, yeah.
You know what I need to do? I need to cut in half some of my fight about things. And I need to cut. That? I mean, we're in a time where we're talking about layoffs all the time.
Yep.
We're talking about about layoffs all the time, and then we're talking about this work from home, and then people want to argue with me. Okay, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna be like my dad. If you like it, I love it.
I think you're tired today.
Yeah. I mean, but I love when my man is giving out this stuff, and I just wondered, is there ever going to be a shift, or are we going to see more people? Because I'd argue if the future is more work from home, that's not a good thing. I think
it's good for commutes.
Oh yeah. I think it's a bad thing for employment. I think the more, if we're working from home, like, hey, the next time Gene Bulk does this in 2 to 3 years, and he's like, oh my goodness, the commute, it's 5 minutes shorter. That's because people ain't working.
Yeah. The work from home plus the rise in AI, the combo there, I think is going to mean even less traffic in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's not an entirely bad thing, but losing all those jobs obviously is very much. I'm curious, though. Text us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. Are you noticing a big difference in your commute?
And then one more thing. Like, and I'm not saying it's the responsibility of people that are working from home. I'm not saying this. But, man, you guys, it's not alarming that every time we hear about a business downtown Seattle, like closing down, like I just saw one yesterday. We're constantly seeing restaurants and businesses close down downtown Seattle. And no, granted, we also don't hear about when new business, because one thing about life, if a business closed down, a business is going to come back up. We don't hear about that as well. But we do hear about some of these businesses that's been around for 20, 30 years.
Yeah,
they're closing down.
And you just walk around downtown and you see a lot of boarded up shops. You look at Westlake Center, and the mall there is a shell of what it used to be, what I remember it to be. Thank God Pacific Place is figuring out different usages for that space, which I think is wonderful.
Can we do better with parking prices that we've been championing in this show for 6 years?
Gee, to your point, I think it's also hard for workers to worry about a business closing when they're worried about their own paycheck. I think one of the larger questions this raises is something you talk about often. And do we notice when things get better? Because, hey, you could say the commute's getting better. I don't know that we notice. And, we talk about crime all the time. Like, the crime rates are better than they've been virtually at any point in history. But that's not the way we feel. Right? Even when things do improve, that's not what we feel on a gut level. It always feels like things get worse.
And I will also, great point. And I also want to point out that, are you going to notice that it's 2.5 minutes less and it only went to 2024? This does not take into account what's going on with I-5 right now. That I-5 project multiple I-5 projects, but the one in particular on the Ship Canal Bridge, oh, Lordy. For anyone who has to deal with that on a daily basis, and I know you've got a big fat commute from Tacoma, but that's no fun.
I don't know if we've ever asked this question before, but Chef just said something that had me in my head just now, and I was going to wait until talk about it in the break, but Ursula, I just want to ask it now. Because he made the comment like, yes, crime is down locally and across the country, but that doesn't mean that you might feel a certain type of way. So here's a real question that I really want to ask. How do you judge crime? how do you judge crime on it? Like if I ask you right now, how do you feel? You might say, gee, I don't care what the numbers say. I feel this way.
Well, I judge it on the places that I frequent and how I feel in those places. If I see that there is crime happening in those places where I might not have typically seen it, but I'm also conditioned to look at the statistics from this job. So I don't think I'm the average person, but I think the average person would look at, like, how safe do I feel? How do I feel like I can walk anymore, in my neighborhood without getting accosted, or do I feel like I can go downtown without my car getting broken into?
Do you guys think that the question centered around how you feel about crime is subjective to maybe the neighborhood you either grew up in or maybe the neighborhood that you currently live in?
Yeah. What's your tolerance level too? I mean, what is your exposure? What has been your experience?
I would say, this is an opinion of mine. I think that the people that scream the most about crime and the numbers are impacted the least.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my heart of heart says, right? Like the folks that talk about things like, well, back in this day where crime was, oh my goodness, in these areas. What about the Central District? What about Hilltop and all of those neighborhoods? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that sometimes when people are talking about how bad, like, for example, some people use their platform, like their whole platform is centered around how awful Seattle is.
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about Seattle, it is literally the same couple blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or when they finally go down and say, "Oh gosh, Pike Place Market, this is actually really nice down here."
Right.
Even though I've been bad-mouthing everything that's going on in the city, and then you go there and think, "Hey, this is not as bad as I've been saying it." It is. Yes, there are a lot of people who make those judgments based on what they're told and not what they actually experience. But you were asking what how I judge it.
I was asking everybody.
Yeah.
And you said yours comes with the numbers.
Yes.
And I'm just perplexed because, I go to a lot of different areas, but I want to specifically talk about Seattle. Every time that there's some type of big event, there's never less of a crowd. Like, I know that next Wednesday night, the Seahawk game, it's going to be sold out.
Yes.
And I know that everybody's going to be around
Pioneer
there.
Square.
Now,
they'll forget about it for that night.
Okay.
Yes. Now, if you get mugged while going to the Seahawks game, then you're going to think crime is terrible. If you come back to your car and your car's been ransacked, then you'll think it's the worst ever, even though again, so different factors apply.
I think it also comes down to, frankly, how much media you consume.
Yes.
And the people that have the most amount of time to read the paper, listen to the news, watch the 7 o'clock, 11 o'clock news in the morning and at night are not the people who live in the neighborhoods who are working two jobs and, just trying to make ends meet, even though they are the most likely to be the victims of crimes themselves and live in the neighborhoods where it happened. They are also not the people who write in the letters to the editor or show up to city council meetings and make the most noise about how bad things are.
Mm-hmm.
I need to mention one other thing, and this is a little inside baseball, but having been in this business for nearly 40 years now, it is easier to report on crime than anything else.
And it's never been easier.
It is so easy to report on crime. It is, if you want to fill your newscast or if you want to just load it up with crime stories because it takes so little time to actually get that information.
Ursula, thank you for saying that.
Yes.
Thank you for saying and showing your expertise as someone who's been in this business for 40 years, how easy it is to really get it. Oh, you got
the lowest hanging fruit.
You got to talk this, got to talk this. But I just want to say there's one word that has been the undisputed champion. Fear. How can we drive you to be afraid? CRT. Fear. I was going to keep going, but I won't. Coming up at 10:47, Ursula, your single friend is probably doing better than you think. We'll do that then. But, Ursula, we got a bunch of topics. Is there anything that we didn't cover at 10:30 that you want to talk about?
Well, we didn't talk about how much free time you have each day if you were not scrolling on your phone. Have you ever thought of what it would be like if you really disconnected? How much free time does your brain actually have each day?
I just did this morning because I was talking to Madeline, Gen Z down there.
Yeah?
And yeah, that's a good topic.
Okay.
Do it next, Gee Ursula.
Jake and Spike.
Whoever in her office shoved her into this video and said, you know what you should do, Katie Wilson? Why don't you, bust a move?
Gear yourself to a certain portion of the electorate.
If the goal is to repel everyone, then I would say that she's doing a fairly good job.
You're going for the uncoordinated vote. You nailed it.
My goodness.
Jake and Spike, noon to 3 on the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
At Carrier, we know that a comfortable home is a happy one. Whether it's with innovative breakthroughs in heating and cooling efficiency, or with different ways to control your home's temperature and air quality, we're always imagining new ways to make your home totally comfortable.
Turn to the experts and let your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer improve your home's comfort and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find an expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat is.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
Anthony Hamilton with Tony, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Thursday, September 10th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
Have you ever really thought about what happens when you can no longer care for yourself?
If you're not prepared, it's like they just ship you off to a nursing home and you may not even have considered all the options that are available to you.
After retiring, Vic attended a free seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayach at LifePoint Law, and it changed the way he planned for his future.
He talked about not running out of money, not being a burden to your family. Those are two kind of basic principles that are obviously important.
So what's Vic's advice?
You have to have a plan. You need a running start. You need to be able to understand the system. I would encourage people to consider getting educated. Rajiv has a lot of knowledge, a lot of practical experience that can be helpful.
Attend an upcoming seminar in Redmond, September 12th, Gig Harbor on the 15th, Olympia on the 17th, or Federal Way, September 19th. Reservations are free today, but space is limited. Learn more at lifepointlaw.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz here again with Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. Greg, there are some folks getting CP 504 notices. This is not something that should be ignored. You need a professional.
When you receive a CP 504 notice, alarm bells need to go off. And as much as you just want to push that envelope aside, because they know it's not going to be good. And it's not a very good notice to get because it means the IRS is really coming down on you hard. Get help right away. Call somebody that knows what they're doing and get some assistance.
How have you helped?
We help them by understanding exactly where they're at. We interview them, we talk with them, find out. We'd like to know, how did you get here? And then we make a plan whereby we do our level best to help people with this struggle they are having now with their taxes.
Judgment-free.
Judgment-free.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn with None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages mortgages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we are meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if the natural effects of aging are slowing you down, it might be time to declare your independence from aging. John Curley here. Longevity Medical Clinic has been treating the undesirable effects of aging for nearly 30 years. They have more clinical experience with actual patient care than any longevity practice in the country. I've been a patient for 17 years. Wow, time flies when you got a lot of energy. I don't know where I'd be today without longevity. Longevity Medical Clinic was started so people can get back to living life on their own terms, walking, working, exercising, and enjoying the moments that matter most. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. Get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
The new SR 167 Expressway is opening soon.
Sweet.
It'll be the shortcut between I-5 and SR 509 near Fife.
A shortcut.
Yep, 2 miles of open expressway. Drivers can take it to avoid congestion on other roads, and freight trucks can take it directly to the Port of Tacoma. When tolling begins this winter, drivers with a good-to-go pass will pay $1.
Oh, $1?
That's right. And to make sure everyone's ready, sticker passes are available right now at no cost. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Right now, save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Honest pricing, guaranteed work, 16 family-owned locations, and no appointment needed. Stay cool this summer. Bucky's.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. New warnings about the U.S. Post Office and the president's executive order on mail-in balloting.
A new whistleblower report alleges the federal government created slapdash new software to handle mail-in ballots, which hasn't been properly debugged or tested and could derail the midterm elections. The software in question is a new online portal where elections officials are meant to upload absentee ballots under President Trump's executive order limiting mail-in voting. That executive order has been blocked by a federal court. Mail-in voting for the midterm elections begins this week. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
A national nonprofit says it will support a new recall of Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson if it's filed. That support, according to Fox 13, is coming from the Youth, Peace, and Justice Foundation, launched after the deadly Uvalde school shooting back in 2022. The group has been active in Seattle this year in the aftermath of multiple shootings involving teens. The first recall effort was filed, then withdrawn by Melinda Jacobson and her husband.
We found some additional information that needs to be investigated as per the charges. That's number one.
They accused Mayor Katie Wilson of dereliction of duty to public safety. The mayor's office said the charges were frivolous. Wearing green and holding signs, thousands of state employees walked off the job Monday.
What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it?
This group at Harborview Medical Center represents people like medical assistants, food service workers, and security guards. Workers were offered a 0% cost of living increase. The governor's office says they respect workers, but that most departments are having to cut back during a budget crisis. A growing reward is being offered in the search of a killer of a Coast Guard lieutenant in Skyway. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports.
A GoFundMe launch for Connor Overstreet has already raised tens of thousands of dollars. According to King County Sheriff's Office, deputies came to 124th and South Langston on reports of a shooting, and responders got here, tried to save the victim, but couldn't. Now people living in this area are concerned beyond last weekend, since one shot is all it took to kill someone just feet from their doorstep.
It's one, big one. I said, I don't believe that. I said,
This is an active homicide investigation. Crime Stoppers is hoping that anyone who may have seen something in this area or heard something will give the police a call.
Now to your traffic news report. On southbound SR 167 in Kent, the off-ramp to 84th Avenue South is blocked due to an incident right there. Expect some delays. It's about 50 minutes from Seattle to Bellevue or Linwood to Seattle, and it's just over an hour all the way from the Everett area, Federal Way to Seattle, still at 40 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. For your forecast, we got some low clouds. Afternoon sunshine is on the way. Highs will be in the low 70s. Right now, it's about 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Text us. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is 888-973-5476. We love when you are part of our show. When was the last time you gave your brain a break? As in, turn off your phone, stop listening to podcasts, not listen to music, not watch TV, but actually just sit there, meditate, or just sit there and give yourself a chance to dream, a chance to... The idea of this, G, even as I talk about this, sounds so foreign. I don't know about for you.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, because if you think about it, we fill almost every single quiet moment with something, whether it's our podcast in our car or music while we walk, scrolling whenever we even have to wait in any kind of line. And a writer for The Guardian realized that she was consuming so many podcasts that she could barely hear her own thoughts. And when she cut her listening by 80%, she said her ideas, plans, insights, just great thoughts started flooding back. And actually, the science, according to The Guardian, supports that whole theory, because when you're not focused on some other task, your brain activates a network involved in memory, self-reflection, and even imagining the future. So I bring this up also because last night something really, I don't know if it's funny, but my eyes are bleary again today. Why? I finally did fall asleep, but then I realized when I woke up, I could not get myself back to sleep, and I had to actually listen to calming music.
Right. Last segment you said, oh, gee, you must be tired. I'm not tired. I'm as you would say, 1,000% awake. And as a matter of fact, I'm more awake probably the last 3-4 months in the morning time than I've probably ever been. My thing is what happens for me when I turn off, or if I'm not looking at any social media, I'm not doing any reading, and if I'm not watching television, I go to sleep. I'll however long it'll be. As a matter of fact, last night we didn't turn the television on when we went inside the room, and I remember just laying there like, oh, TV's not on. And I was probably asleep within 2 minutes. So for me, when I'm not connected, I'm not that way at work, obviously, because we're doing stuff all the time at work. And at home, if I find myself on the couch and I'm just sitting there thinking, I end up falling asleep. Now, do I think that I could get more done if I did alleviate some of the social media? Yes. I do. Just talking to Madeline downstairs, and she doesn't have Instagram for the last 2 months. And I think I would do better with that, no doubt. And also, if I can just add, just get rid of the scroll. If we had social media and we just were able to, and by the way, no, don't make it to where I have to opt in or opt out, because I'm going to opt in to scroll every time. No, take it away from us. If we don't have the scroll, then we're good. If we just have to go click, 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 instead of...
Would you actually want to get rid of the scroll? Because that would be so tedious.
It would help us all.
Yeah.
The scroll gets us all in trouble. Like, the scroll is no good for us.
But it's great for these companies
Yes.
Because it keeps us there. And then they just will throw in the occasional, have you been scrolling for a while? Is it time for you to take a break? Just to
I feel
make
bad,
them
but I can't stop.
I know, to make themselves feel better. I know it's a requirement now, but the whole idea of actually meditating. So people have told me, you should really try meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when I'm no longer working in the job that I'm doing right now, I think that's going to be a much easier achievement for me. Right now, it's impossible. It feels impossible. I always feel like I have to look at, okay, what's the next thing coming? What's on these websites that I normally check for news, and scrolling for this passion project that I have on the side, and making purchases for that thing. I mean, it's just a constant. And I love the idea of, when was the last time you could just be in your own thoughts?
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of people come up with great ideas. But do we give ourselves opportunity to have great ideas?
I don't know. I guess it's subjective. Do you feel that with our phones that you are less creative today? Because I'd argue that you have the opportunity, some of you, whether it's podcasts or Instagram or anything like that, you have an opportunity to learn a lot all at once at a fast pace and clip, a lot of information. Or maybe we would be better without all of those things, and we can kind of get our thoughts to ourselves. There's a text coming right here, and I'm going to actually argue against this person. Mark in Sammamish says, and I really like listening to the Gee and Ursula show, basically. I got to tell you, I'm going to argue against that, Mark. I don't think listening to the Gee and Ursula show is soothing. I don't think it is something that you just sit back for white noise. Now, maybe other shows and things like that, because a lot of times those topics are very simple. Like, for example, there could be a topic, and then you can put an envelope, and you know exactly what the opinion is going to be. Why? Because it follows along with an agenda. It's not soothing on the Gee and Ursula show, Ursula, because we're going to say things.
I'm going to push back.
Oh, you say we soothing?
Yeah.
All right, what you got?
I'm going to push back.
All right.
Because I think that there are some people who, they're pulling their hair out and can't stand us and listen to punish themselves. Yes. But I'm going to argue that a vast majority of our listeners tune in because we have become their friends. For them, we are one of the constants in their lives. Mm-hmm. That is the one thing that I hear and I read often on my Ask Ursula column. It's, I've been listening to you, or on our text line, people will say, I've been listening to you. We started right before the pandemic, and people really kind of hung on to us during the pandemic, and thankfully many have stayed. And we are like you might not always agree with us, or we may make you really think, but we are a constant companion.
Gee, you know this to be true too. Like, people might be upset with our opinions, but we do not craft this show in a fashion that's meant to make you angry. We're not a show where you're going to tune into us so we can tell you who to be furious at today and, raise your blood temperature intentionally and create some kind of narrative of fear that's supposed to raise your blood pressure, right?
In fact, Rhiannon in Green Lake just said this. I find you guys soothing. You guys feel like a comfortable crew of friends just chatting in the background. I also love that Rhiannon says, I'm turning 40 in 2026, and I have never loved myself more. I love that that's what 2026 means for her.
That was pretty good. All right. Well, here, how about this? Yeah. I'm gonna see what you had to say, but I'm gonna raise you. Poker, right? I'm gonna raise you. There's no way it's soothing, because y'all know if I get too excited about a topic, you know how loud I can get. So all of a sudden you was relaxing for a second. Oh no, G's excited again. Oh man. All right. Hey, Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show. You know, that one single friend. If I ask you who your single friend is, do you have that person in mind? Well, what if they're probably doing better than you think? They're doing better than by being in a relationship. Next, Gee and Ursula.
Charlie Harger.
I want to be a watchdog.
From Seattle's Morning News.
Somebody who is not accepting from the government at face value what they're telling you. I might not even be necessarily against a politician, but if I see an issue or a policy that I think are worthy of a conversation, I'm going to bring it up.
Hear Charlie's 7:35 commentary every morning on Seattle's Morning News.
You can watch all of Charlie's commentaries anytime on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
This is a test of your emergency alert system.
Jane is a small business owner. Tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
The Total Solutions Advantage. No one does business like Comcast Business.
The more solutions you add, the more you save. Get started today with a qualifying internet package for as low as $60 a month when you add an advanced solution. Plus, new customers, ask how to get up to $1,500 in prepaid cards when you add 2 lines of mobile to a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, tax, and fees extra. Prepaid card offers end 9/13/2026.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. Our Labor Day financing event is here, and you do not want to miss it. You'll not only get savings on your new tub, you'll also get to take advantage of interest-free financing for 5 years. Summer is nearly over. Make sure you're ready to take a soak every night in the warm, soothing water of a hot spring spa. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Tune in to elevate your wealth.
If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix it.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
And Doug.
It's so easy to customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. You'll feel like you can do just about anything, like wrestle above your weight class.
In this corner, Doug and Limu. And the challenger, Derek the Destroyer.
I'm gonna customize you into next week.
Why don't you go first, Limu?
Get over here.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, D.R. Horton has the right home for the best value. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, Nick, how about one of those days we just have some 90s hip-hop?
You want that kind of theme for one day?
Yeah.
We could try that out.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Like that.
Yeah. All right. For everybody who keeps asking about their single friends and asking their single friends, so when are you going to find somebody? You might want to leave them alone, because new research suggests being single can actually be a period of serious personal growth. Them researchers out there found that people who viewed singlehood as an opportunity were more likely to try new things, learn new skills, travel, build relationship with friends and family, and reported greater satisfaction with their lives. According to this, it turns out that being single isn't necessarily something that you need to fix. You know, I talked about this earlier this morning, and I think here's where we've gotten things wrong. I think that we have convinced in society, we have convinced each other that being alone is something where you're missing something. Being alone is like, hey, and I think the thinking about if you're single is better today than it used to be. You know where I'm going with this, where my moms of the world and the baby boomers, you show up to the barbecue, it's like, oh my goodness, you're still single?
Or terms like spinster, cat lady, all those things would.
I've never heard spinster. I never heard spinster.
Yeah, that's really old. That's really old, fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know more single women today than any time. I mean, and people who were previously married and then now choosing to be single and enjoying the single life.
Mm-hmm.
I am encountering more and more of those people. But I did also have a conversation with someone who said, it is also really hard to be a single woman or a single earner in again, obviously in a city like Seattle. It can be tough. And sometimes it's like, can I just find a partner who can share this life with me and also share in the expenses?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was kind of joking, but kind of not.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that sentiment too. But just like I think you can have a completely full and enriched and all-encompassing wonderful life as a single person, I also think that you can have that kind of life if you choose not to have kids.
Mm-hmm. I think it's all subjective. I use that word a lot, meaning I don't think it's good or bad either way. I think that there are pros and cons to being single, as well that there's a lot of pros and cons to being in a relationship. I would say, speaking for me personally, I get more sleep being in a relationship. I think I'm more financially responsible being in a relationship.
Yeah.
I think I work harder being in a relationship,
yes.
right? But
because you also found a great partner.
Right. But there might be someone that's like, hey, G, you know what? Life is good for me. I am able to live in Seattle where affordability is an issue, and you're saying, I do well. I'm able on one income to take care of all my bills, savings, do all these things. By the way, tip of the cap to you,
yes.
because that's a rare thing,
yes.
being able to afford that. So, again, I think it's subjective. We should not put a sweeping statement on single or not
I'm with
single.
you on that one.
Right? And especially, back in the day, that single aunt used to always get a lot of blowback.
And there's always this, and I have been guilty of this in the past too, and I won't do it anymore unless someone explicitly tells me, hey, I would love it if you play matchmaker, or help me create a profile on this dating app, which I've been asked to do, or if you know of any eligible bachelors, let me know. Then I will try to do the matchmaker thing. 360 texted in, and I'm glad he's still with us right now. How about being single as a widow? I hate this. I mean, and that can be very lonely.
It must be. Yeah.
I mean, it can be very lonely. And if you're used to having that partner and suddenly being single. But again, to your point, we shouldn't assume that being single, someone's missing something.
Exactly. And by the way, I commend those folks that are single and that are able to go get their sleep, and they're very responsible. They continue to do the same things. I think that is I don't even think it's a rare discipline. I just think it's a discipline that people like me don't have.
Jacob in the 253 is someone who's figured it out, though. I'm the single friend. I own my home. I own my vehicles. I have a healthy savings. I enjoy my job and my free time. He also points out comparison is the thief of joy, and that is true.
Yeah, Jacob, you nailed that one. You really did. All right. Coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, Ursula, the topics are we talking about out of 5 million?
Well, we
claims?
have, so you know that USPS may not be returning your ballot in time, but now there's a whistleblower report that says the Postal Service may never deliver your ballot in the first place. Also, Homeland Security plans to send human trafficking agents to our state to track down voter fraud. I mean, these are very serious issues, and the Secretary of State is going to join us coming up at 11 o'clock.
Hold on. Tyson from the 808 just said something. Time out. Nick, was this song was this the 90s, or was it a theme or the topic we're talking about?
You mentioned the 90s. I just wanted to keep the ball rolling with that bad boy.
Yeah, but this song right here? Oh, boy. All right, we'll do more of the Gee Ursula Show next.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
The new All-Pro battery by Steel. Tackle any task with 60% more peak power, exclusively available only at your local Steel dealer. 60% peak power comparison between AP300PC and AP300S.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
What if the retirement plan you think you have isn't enough? Marshall and Ellen thought they were prepared.
We certainly thought we had all documents. We'd done the wills and the power of attorney and all that stuff.
Then they attended a seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich at Life Point Law.
The bigger parts of how that all plays out was definitely helpful.
Life Point Law showed them what they were missing.
There were things we never thought of that made total sense once they were brought up. To have things planned so that your family isn't left with a mess or having to deal with things that they don't know anything about.
So what's their advice?
People wait too long. Get started, figure out what you want to do. Don't wait too long. Make those decisions and look at all your options.
Attend an upcoming seminar in Redmond, September 12th, Gig Harbor on the 15th, Olympia on the 17th, or Federal Way, September 19th. Reservations are free today, but space is limited. Learn more at lifepointlaw.com.
At Carrier, we know that a comfortable home is a happy one. Whether it's with innovative breakthroughs in heating and cooling efficiency, or with different ways to control your home's temperature and air quality, we are always imagining new ways to make your home totally comfortable.
Turn to the experts and let your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer improve your home's comfort and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find an expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app. Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO. Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Hours after Army Secretary Dan Driscoll submitted his resignation, the U.S. military is carrying out a new round of strikes against Iranian targets near the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Tom Sufi Burrich has more.
CENTCOM, the U.S. military in the Middle East, is now confirming that it has been carrying out strikes against the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the Iranian military, if you like, because they say the Iranian Guard Corps, the Iranian military, has been attacking commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz.
A U.S. official tells ABC News that Driscoll's resignation from his role comes amid growing tension with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. In Massachusetts, the jury in the Lindsay Clancy trial informed the judge today they're stuck on coming to a unanimous decision, the judge ordering the jury to keep deliberating. And it is primary day in Massachusetts, the governor's race, along with House and Senate seats at stake ahead of the midterms. This is ABC News. More than 1,000 people are confirmed dead from last week's catastrophic mudslides and glacial flooding in Nepal and Tibet. ABC's Britt Clinnett is in Nepal and says 4,500 people are still listed as missing, including Americans.
The muddy ground here, it is like quicksand in certain areas. Monsoon rains are constantly sweeping in, and Nepal is still on high alert for even more flooding. So you can understand why the recovery task here is Herculean. But the families of those missing Americans we speak to say they are holding out still for a miracle.
A sticky legal battle over a popular frozen peanut butter and jelly sandwich and well-known jelly brand is not over yet. A federal judge has ruled that Smucker's can proceed with a lawsuit against Trader Joe's over its PBJs that Smucker's claim look a lot like its Uncrustables. Severe storms targeting parts of the East Coast today with the threat of hail and heavy rain and possible tornadoes in the mix. In western states, severe heat keeping its grip, raising the risk of more wildfires. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Seattle Public Schools says it's working to avoid a teacher strike before classes start tomorrow. But first, let's get a check on the roads right now. The north end, it's improving. It's at least under about 55 minutes from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue. It's about an hour and 10 all the way up from the Everett area. Renton to Bellevue, about 35 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. There's just a few hours left for Seattle Public Schools to reach a deal with its teachers union. The strike deadline is midnight tonight, and the first day of school is supposed to be tomorrow. Both sides were negotiating late into the night with a new mediator. Superintendent Ben Schuldener has also been personally involved.
As the superintendent, you hope for the best and you plan for the worst. And that's why I wanted to make sure that the families knew that we were going to have food, that the nonprofits that do before care and after care, if they're able to do it.
He says he's briefed principals who can answer questions for families if they have them. At issue, changes to special education, class sizes, and pay raises. Also, a multi-billion-dollar deficit. It's a big day for the youngest students in the Issaquah School District. KIRO 7 TV's Tyra Majors is outside Clark Elementary School.
The district serves more than 18,500 students across 27 schools in East King County. And while today is all about kindergarten, there are several changes underway across the district, including new electric school buses now in operation for the very first time. School District Superintendent Heather Talyuk says this was made possible by renewed voter-approved levies.
A bobcat became an unexpected house guest in Kirkland last week. Police say the animal somehow got inside a Moss Bay home, prompting a resident to call 911 fearing a break-in. Officers cornered the bobcat in a room and monitored it with a drone before Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife arrived. Investigators believe the bobcat may have climbed a tree and jumped through an open window, possibly drawn inside from the homeowner's cat. The bobcat was later released near Forbes Creek. Marysville police, state troopers, and a citizen cowboy with a lasso teamed up Monday morning. Their mission?
We got both cows lassoed to a tree break.
Round up the cows that wandered onto I-5 South, off an exit ramp and into Lakewood Commons. The cows are now back home safe. Now to your forecast. We've got some low clouds over us, but we will have slightly cooler temperatures today. Highs will be in the mid-70s. Right now, it's about 63 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Grateful that you all hang out with us every single day. It's already the 11 o'clock hour, and you guys know what I call 11 o'clock. It's the 11 o'clock hour of the show. You know what time it is right there. We're going to be having a guest come on to the show. Love it when we get a chance to talk to Secretary of State Steve Hobbs. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. We do have another packed hour. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is open for you, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
Before we get to the Secretary of State, we want to mention that Washington is joining a major lawsuit accusing Amazon of secretly overcharging businesses that advertise on the website. The Federal Trade Commission and 22 states say that beginning in 2019, Amazon quietly changed the way its online ad auctions worked. So advertisers were told they were taking part in a competitive auction where the winner would pay just enough to beat the next highest bid. But the lawsuit claims that Amazon began adding a hidden surcharge, sometimes using what employees internally described as a quote-unquote invented auction participant. And what did that do? It pushed prices higher. The FTC says more than 1 million advertisers were affected by this, including more than 500,000 small and medium-sized businesses. And this thing that Amazon did may have generated more than $20 billion in extra money for the company. Washington Attorney General Nick Brown says his office joined this case because businesses here were among those allegedly overcharged. And the lawsuit also points to internal Amazon documents showing that employees were trying to put up the red flag and say, hey, you know, this practice could actually seriously damage advertisers' trust. But in all of this, Amazon denies any wrongdoing and says its system improves the relevance of advertising and that average winning bids for search ads have actually gone down in recent years.
This whole surcharge and dynamic pricing and everything related to what the human eye can't see and or focus on. And AI and these computer tools being used to really just make us pay more money and everything. And so I guess what my question is I don't think anybody that heard what you had to say, I don't think anybody doesn't believe. I mean, we believe this happened, right? So the question is now what kind of penalty is there? No, what kind of penalty is there really? Is this one of those penalties like, hey, there's no wrongdoing, and if there is, we'll settle, we'll give you a little bit of money? Or do they really, or will they ever really make these companies pay? Now, remember, earlier in the conversation today, we've already talked about who was at the inauguration. We've already talked about were billionaires and who they go to support and why they do it. So what I'm saying is don't you worry. This will potentially happen again, and if they get caught, it's oopsie.
It's the cost of doing business. Yeah. If you think about the company, which is already, and maybe you can help me out with this, Gee, because I didn't look before we started talking about this, like where the company stands right now. But you're talking about generating more than $20 billion in extra revenue by doing this. But you were saying that what's going to happen? What's the penalty? Well, we've got the federal government, the FTC, and 22 different states, including Washington, going after Amazon. Yeah, and they'll probably end up having to pay something.
A little something. Hold on. Let me go ahead and
But Amazon rules the world at this point.
Billionaires rule the world at this point, right? And so it's really unfortunate how this is happening. Well, my takeaway from everything that you just said, because I was just listening to you throw out billions. Have you guys noticed how we just throw out billions of dollars?
Yes.
Like earlier today, we talked about how Apple is now worth $4 trillion. Like we throw around the billions word like it's nothing. And yet we are still, the federal minimum wage is still $7.25. We throw around, there is a company in the United States, Apple is worth $4 trillion and the federal minimum wage is $7.25.
Amazon's worth $2.75 trillion, by the way. I just looked it up.
But watch this. As soon as I say $7.25 on a federal level, gee, now what states out there are actually $7.25? And then I got to give you the same response. There's actually close to 20. All right, what we got next?
Well, do we have our guest? Okay, so with the midterm elections only 2 months away, threats to our most fundamental right as U.S. citizens are ramping up, and we're talking big time. Mm-hmm. Homeland Security, human trafficking agents plan to come into our state in search of voter fraud. And there's also this new whistleblower report that now claims that the Postal Service could fail to send millions of ballots out in time. And I will say that just in the last hour, we learned of some of this new reporting, especially regarding Homeland Security, which is somewhat alarming. So joining us right now is Secretary of State Steve Hobbs. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you. Good to hear from you again.
Yeah, it's so soon, right? I mean, we just had you on recently, but we need to talk about this new reporting. You're just learning about it as well, right? Regarding Homeland Security.
Yes, absolutely. Just heard about it now. And it's like, I wish they would just pick up the phone and call us. Instead, they're like, we got to read about it in the news. And so we're just trying to figure out, what does this mean? Because we have yet to been contacted. We're reaching out to other states to see if they have been contacted. We've been meeting with our attorneys, like, okay, what does this mean if they do X, Y, and Z? We will attempt to fight when we need to fight, and we will cooperate when we need to cooperate. But we don't know anything because we just heard about it in the news.
Okay, well, you know what? This is what we do all the time. We find out stuff in the news, and this is how I feel about it, right? And so you're trying to figure things out. Hey, Steve, how do you feel? Do you feel like this is right now in good faith, or how do you feel about this?
Oh, I mean, how I feel? I'm pretty angry, to tell you the truth. I mean, I was on your show, just a couple weeks ago, and it's like, I thought this was over, and it's not, and we just keep on getting monkey wrenches thrown at our face. And it is very, very frustrating because we need help from the federal government. We need help because, like I told you last time, like cybersecurity attacks from nation-state actors influencing operations. And plus, we just need to get the word out to our public about elections and, making sure that they vote. And the feds are usually with us, and they're not. Instead, they're doing this. They're trying to undermine our elections. I don't get it because look, there were differences of opinion. Obviously, I'm a Democrat, Trump's a Republican, but it wasn't like this in the first Trump administration. He would say things, but the government itself, like Department of Homeland Security, CISA, they would help us. They would assist us.
We are always talking about and we're hearing about protecting elections from fraud. That's a big conversation. But what protects us voters from the federal government from messing up the election process?
Yeah, well, it's good that we have a Constitution that so far has been upheld in the courts, and we suspect the Department of Justice case against us will be dismissed like the 25 other cases that have been dismissed. So we have that going for us, which is, thank God, right? Because that's the cornerstone of our democracy is that Constitution. And so far, the courts have upheld much of it.
You are listening to the voice of Secretary of State Steve Hobbs, and you're also learning about the new Postal Service whistleblower report, and that's the new reporting this morning. And this whistleblower said that the Postal Service has built a system where one bad barcode in a batch of 10,000 ballots could cause the entire batch to be rejected. Now, here in Washington, we mail, more than 5 million ballots? How could that impact us here?
Well, it's horrifying because it was the USPS rulemaking that said you had to put these individual barcodes on it. So now it begs the question, was this on purpose to cause this issue to hold up? I mean, I don't know. Obviously, this will have to be investigated. This is just me, unfortunately being paranoid because of the situation that we're in currently. Let's see how this plays out. I'm very shocked to hear something like this. Now, the good news is we still have the restraining order by the courts that was done. It's going to go till September 10th, but on September 3rd, which is really soon, we're going to hear the case, and hopefully an injunction will be made, and we can operate as usual. And our attorneys feel very good about it. I know other states are fighting this along with us, 25 other states. But,
do you feel you sound extremely you said it's a weird environment we're living in, and you sound very frustrated, and it's like trying to drink from a fire hose. I'm getting the sense because all of this new stuff is coming up, and we've got an election a couple of months away.
Yes.
For those who are not following so closely, when you said we still have the, I'm going to say injunction, but what are you referring to?
So you might recall a couple of weeks ago, the Supreme Court had lifted the injunction on the United States Postal Service rule on putting these barcodes in, and they will only mail to an approved list. That injunction was lifted, but it was lifted not because the constitutionality or the content of the policy. It was because of timing, because the rule hadn't been actually officially in place. The USPS had put this rule out going, hey, we're taking public comments, but it can't be official until after it. And so the courts went, hey, you can't put an injunction on something that isn't officially there. So that's what happened. And so when the injunction was lifted and the USPS finally went, hey, this is the rule, then we could apply a restraining order which stops it temporarily, and then we will attempt to do an injunction, and this is in coordination with the Attorney General's office, obviously.
You're listening to the voice of Secretary of State Steve Hobbs here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Sometimes I like to make this simplified a little bit, and right now someone's mom or uncle or someone that is 75 years old, and they're used to, maybe they don't pay attention and follow politics every single day, but they do pay attention to when their ballot shows up. I know in the state of North Carolina, I know ballots have already gone out. They've done that. Right now, what do you want people to know as far as those loved ones here in the state of Washington that will be expecting those ballots? What do you want them to know right now?
The good news is we have a very resilient state in terms of the operations of elections. So let's say the USPS rule actually gets into effect, which this is the problem that I didn't get to share with you because it didn't come up on your show, is they want individual barcodes going out and coming in. So the ballot coming to you would have an individual barcode, which it does. But we don't have envelopes that have individual barcodes coming from you, the voter, to the county. And so what I've been telling people is like, look, if this rule stands, and we think we will be successful, we think the injunction will be successful, is take it to a drop box. And the good news is Washingtonians have been using drop boxes more and more. In fact, the latest percentage was 75% of voters using the drop box. And we would just really push that hard if our backs are against the wall and that we have to live with this rule.
So, again, I mean, the advice is let's try to bypass the Postal Service altogether and just go straight to the ballot box?
Yes. I mean, if the rule's in place. But you should do that anyway because, as you recall, the USPS changed how they do postmarks. So if you're a week out from the election, you really should take your ballot to a drop box to have it counted.
What do you think this is doing to voter confidence, even in a state like ours?
I think it confuses voters. I mean, we're constantly having to restate what's going on. Thank you so much for calling me because then I get to, talk to your listeners and remind them, like, hey, make sure you put it in a Dropbox. But I have to do that all the time. And I shouldn't have to. I should be in a supporting role with the counties, asking, hey, do you need any help? And then we're doing our cybersecurity. We're doing our tests before and after the election. We're doing all that. That's what we should be concentrating on, not trying to fight our own government. It's really, really frustrating. You caught me at a good time.
Yeah, we appreciate you still going through with this interview, even though this is frustrating. I think it's actually refreshing. One of the things that we talk about a lot before we let you go is that we talk about voter data, right? In the state of Washington, we tell our people, hey, we're not going to be giving away the voter data. But we all know that the federal government right now, they're basically saying, hey, we need that information. Tell the people now, who do we trust in this situation?
Well, here's the thing. They can get the data in terms of the public information. So I've said this multiple times to DOJ, the media. It's like, look, if anyone wants the public data, they can get it. What we're not going to do is give you the private information, last four, social security number, driver's license, full date of birth, et cetera, et cetera. And the reason I'm not going to do that is because it's against state law. It's actually against federal law because there's the Privacy Act. Not supposed to do that. And we have a right, the state has a right to conduct its elections as they should. And so I'm not going to give up that information. And a lot of constituents do not want me to give up their private information to anyone, even federal government, private sector, whatever. They just don't want that to be done.
Steve, you've been in doing this job for a number of years. You've been in politics for a long time, locally and statewide. Can you remember a time like this surrounding elections and election fraud?
Ursula,
alleged?
I got to tell you something, though. No. It's a great question, because I have been through this, but in other countries. When I was deployed to Kosovo, I was deployed to Iraq. You had mis and disinformation. You had nation-state actors trying to disrupt an election. I didn't expect it to happen here, but it almost looks like it's happening here. And thank God we have a U.S. Constitution that is strong, and that so far the courts have backed us up.
Wow.
And Gee and Ursula, pat yourselves on the back. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your rear ends, but to have the media actually talk about it and reach out to me and ask the tough questions, because you've asked me some tough questions in the past, and that's what you should do. And you should keep doing that.
We appreciate you joining us. I mean, and clearly you're learning a lot of new stuff today, which is going to make your job even more complicated. And you know that no matter what you say about what little fraud has been found, actually, in terms of percentage-wise, there are going to be some people who will just not believe anything that you say. I mean, you know that.
True. Yeah. Hey. Yes.
And so the same for us. I mean, this interview we will put out there, and there will still be people who say, no matter what, Dino Rossi, whatever it is, they'll bring up the same things over and over again, and you can't convince them.
Yeah, no. You're right. But there have been, we have had those in the election denier world that have come to election centers and talked to their county auditor. And sometimes their minds are changed when they actually see it. And if there's any listeners out there, if you hold these doubts, please just go down to your county auditor's office, or if you're in King County Elections Director's office, and see for yourself, because they will let you do that. They will let you witness what is going on, the counting of the ballots, the opening of the ballots. So I really encourage folks to do that. Don't be angry or keep it to yourself or share misinformation. Go seek out that information.
Secretary of State Steve Hobbs, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I mean, I've always had respect for you, but for you to get on right now and to really show emotion to what is happening in real time, as you were just finding out that information the same time that we, the public, was. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Enjoy being on your show. Next time, let's talk about some happy things, huh? Let's do that.
Sounds good. More to Gee Ursula Show next.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Truck started slow. Battery might be toast.
Slow starts are the first sign of heat damage to your battery. We'll test it, no charge.
Thanks. And if it is dead?
We'll set you up with a new, fully warranted battery, some up to 5 years, and we'll recycle the old one.
Thanks for the rundown. Lead the way.
Get free battery testing, charging, and recycling at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to metamucil.com for more details.
If you remember listening to this, and this, and this, then remember this. COVID hasn't gone away. And if you're an adult with conditions like diabetes, asthma, or heart disease, it can cause serious setbacks. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about the latest COVID vaccine. It's one of the best ways to help protect yourself. Find out more at PfizerForAll.com. Pfizer. Outdo yesterday.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Truck started slow. Battery might be toast.
Slow starts are the first sign of heat damage to your battery. We'll test it, no charge.
Thanks. And if it is dead?
We'll set you up with a new, fully warranted battery, some up to 5 years, and we'll recycle the old one.
Thanks for the rundown. Lead the way.
Get free battery testing, charging, and recycling at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Doug.
Here at Liberty Mutual, we work with independent insurance agents who work for you. They really get to know you, so the more you share, the more it helps. Up to a point. So definitely list any vehicles you own, but not all your allergies. Achoo! Tell them about your home square footage, but not your gossipy neighbor.
Ugh, he's so gossipy.
Budget? Yes. Your dream journal? Probably not.
So I was talking to a moose, and the moose just...
For expert advice and personalized recommendations, find a local agent at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The U.S. is escalating its attacks on Iranian assets. President Trump and U.S. military officials both confirmed that targets are near the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has already responded to the strikes and said it will retaliate. More from ABC's Karen Travers.
It was a pretty quiet August in terms of strikes against Iranian military targets. The U.S. was focused on an economic pressure campaign by going after countries that do business with Iran to try to put the squeeze on Iran to get them back to the negotiating table, to get them to give in to the president.
A temporary break on tariffs for imported beef is now in effect. It's a 90-day program that the White House says will help bring down grocery bills. But cattle ranchers are pushing back. Jack Field is the executive director of Washington Cattle Feeders Association.
I would just ask the president to please step back,
stay out of the beef market. I'm not quite sure what the hyper focus is on beef prices.
Field says his biggest issue is energy costs as higher fuel prices cut into profits. He also warns cheaper foreign beef could undercut efforts to rebuild the U.S. herd, which is at a 75-year low. A national nonprofit formed after a Texas school shooting says it's looking for ways to support a recall of Mayor Katie Wilson. This is the Uvalde Foundation for Kids. The recall was filed and withdrawn by a North Seattle couple last month. They said the mayor failed her public safety duties. An attorney for the mayor's office said it had no merit.
But I am troubled to hear in open court some suggestion that they might be thinking that they will simply wait for another day.
The Uvalde Foundation has offered support to Seattle schools and the city council after a year of high-profile shootings involving teens. Big changes are coming to the basement of the Crocodile in Seattle. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports the venue's new owners plan to gut Madame Lou's Here and After and combine them into one larger space. It's going to be called the Bottle Rocket Social Hall. The ownership group Comedy Tent bought the Crocodile about 2 months ago. The new 13,000 square foot space will hold 400 people for concerts and 250 for comedy shows. It's expected to open sometime in March. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. About 30 minutes from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue. It's 45 from Everett to Seattle. Federal Way to Seattle is also 35. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. For your forecast on this Tuesday morning, it's cloudy and about 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Ooh, let's take a hard turn here. Let's move over into some advice column territory. You know, I got to celebrate my anniversary last week, and I saw this column in the Washington Post. Caught my eye on the topic of birthday phone calls. This letter writer writes and says, on my birthday, my family all insists upon calling and speaking with me individually to wish me a happy birthday and check in. I don't begrudge them the sentiment, but I must admit I don't particularly enjoy the ritual. I speak with them on a pretty regular basis. And frankly, I don't have the time to spend my entire birthday on the phone with my family. Please keep it to a text. By the way, the Post columnist said birthday calls are pretty much dead, so your family's an outlier. Gee, would you agree with that? Birthday calls, those are dead?
Absolutely not. And I would love to know, and I would love to ask some questions of that author. My first question would be, are the people that do this birthday for you all the time, are they still alive? The best birthday gift that I just didn't realize I would get was every year on my birthday, my dad would call and sing the same type of birthday message.
He would sing it?
What? He would sing it, and I would roll my eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, so right as soon as you start telling that story, I just wanted to say to her, okay.
Just wait.
Because when it's over and it's not there anymore, it will be the thing that you miss the most about your birthday. I just turned 50 this past year, and I'm telling you right now, if I could have had that birthday jingle, he'd have, you know, like he's that almost choked me up. Go ahead, Ursula. Ooh, that was.
Well, I think you nailed it. I think there will be a lot of people who wish they could say it would be great if people didn't call me on my birthday. I think something that is much worse than people calling on your birthday is having no one acknowledge your birthday.
Sure.
And the idea of the birthday call being dead, sometimes I just get tired of texting, by the way. Sometimes I think, why am I texting all this when I could easily have a conversation? Mm-hmm. And like you said, I will be happy having had that conversation, because you never know when that person or something can happen and suddenly they're not there. Right. And the older you get, the more you realize that. Mm-hmm. I have saved birthday greetings or other greetings from my dad, from my mom, I mean, from my brother, who I don't have one from my oldest brother, which just makes me really sad.
Mm-hmm.
But my second brother, who passed from cancer, I haven't even had, I know they're there.
Yeah.
But I haven't had, like, I can't listen to it. It's still too painful.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing that that's there, and that in our family, for the siblings, the surviving siblings, it's so important to actually call on the birthday.
There's a text that comes in, and somebody, I lost it. They said, "Gee, you got to continue that tradition with your sons." Oh, Mike and Bothell says that, and I got to answer. I can't do it. I can't do it because I don't know how to do it like my dad did it. And if you're from Chicago, you know, or maybe you all have heard of Tom Joyner. Tom Joyner used to do a birthday shout out for people. And so my dad on the radio. And so my dad would imitate Tom Joyner. And he'd say, "This is Tom Joyner from WGCI." And he would do that whole thing. And so
that's cool.
I can't do it like my dad. My dad did it just like Tom Joyner. So, anyways, the birthday shout-outs.
That's super cool. Okay, well, I got to ask you because I'm a little bit in this person's territory because, I don't have those close family members aside from my younger brother who passed. And I fall usually into the texting category. Do you think that, happy birthday text, do they mean much to people? Because, I get them, and it's like a Facebook-like.
Especially if it's just, happy birthday. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because there is a gesture. But the ones that I really appreciate are the ones who spend a minute and actually say something that is meaningful and thoughtful, and you know that they gave it some thought.
Okay.
And that's the best gift.
All right.
And one of the things that you did on my last birthday is you posted something on Facebook, and do you know how much joy that gave me to read people's messages?
Yeah.
We
got some great messages for you. All right, from too much talk in one camp to too much talk in another. Can you tell people to be quiet? This also from the Post. Recently hosted a relative and his wife for a few days, longtime friends. During their visit, the wife talked incessantly, sharing stories about their family in great detail. We tried to reciprocate with updates about ours. We'd interject a sentence or two, and then they would hijack the conversation back to their own. These folks are good-natured and well-intentioned, but don't seem to have a clue about how their conduct left us feeling exhausted and excluded in our own home. Ursula, can you tell people, hey, can you allow a little room in this conversation for me to join you? I mean, especially like if they're guests in your own home. Like, have you ever had to confront this dynamic with anyone?
Where they're talking so much and you can't get a word in edgewise?
Yeah. Or they just don't bounce the ball back in your court, so to speak.
I won't do it as rudely as that unless it is so... I can't think of any time I've had to do that. Now, if it's a really good friend and they're just yakking and don't stop to say, hey, how are you doing? I might give them a bad time, like, hello, can you take a breath so I can inject myself here?
Does that happen?
I mean, but you need to know this person really well. I mean, if they're a guest in my home, I'm not going to try to make them feel uncomfortable in my home. I'll just note for the next time.
No invitation.
No, I don't think I've ever really had that. I think that conversations that I have here on this show are different than conversations that I have when I'm not on the show, face to face. If anything, I think that face to face or get-togethers and all that kind of stuff. I know you guys don't believe this. I talk less than you think.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like, I'm talked out. So by that time. So if there is someone dominating the conversation, I look at it like, hey, they're excited to be here. They come into your house. They got a lot to say. Say it. I would rather them be talking too much than not talking at all.
Being awkward.
Being on their phone and not pulling a G. Being on their phone. That would be me.
This chicken's delicious.
Kristen,
not dry at all.
says, I ask if this is a conversation or a monologue. Ooh.
Oh. That's pointed.
That is pointed. That is pointed. All right. Coming up next here on the show, we'll have Ursula's Words to Live By. Gee Ursula.
Hey, football fans, Steve Rabel here. You know what makes Washington State truly special? It's the people, the everyday champions who serve, care, and connect. This fall, your local credit union, WSECU, is proud to celebrate 4 of these inspiring individuals as part of Washington's Community Champions. Serving Washington since 1957, WSECU is the only credit union named a Forbes Best Credit Union 5 years in a row. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your hero today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
Pet Decorator wood flooring is the last floor you will ever need to buy. Gorgeous, hand-selected wide plank wood flooring made only from American hardwoods. The most durable patented finish on the market. Protected from pets with scratch, scuff, and dent-resistant performance. Waterproof with a lifetime warranty, attractively priced. You will love your new Forever floor. Call today, petdecorator.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-346-2476. 800-346-2476. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-346-2476.
It's Olympic Hot Tub Swim into Savings event. Savings plus a factory rebate mean up to $20,000 off an endless pool swim spa package. Our biggest savings of the year ends September 14th. OlympiChotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Did you see what Olympia is calling their latest new tax?
The millionaire's tax? Yep.
You know, it's really an income tax.
So what's the difference?
A millionaire's tax doesn't sound like it applies to you, but it does. Olympia created the income tax and refused to limit it. They left the door open to tax everyone, including you.
So what do we do?
Vote yes on Initiative 645. It repeals the income tax completely, so Olympia can't expand it and get into your paycheck.
Wait, we're repealing an income tax?
Yes, we're repealing an income tax.
And we vote yes to repeal it?
Yes. Vote yes to repeal the income tax.
Okay. Vote yes to repeal the income tax.
Well, see, they picked that name on purpose. Tell your friends vote yes on Initiative 645. Let's repeal the income tax. Visit voteyes645.com for more information. Paid for by Vote Yes, Repeal the Income Tax. Top 5 contributors, BIAW Member Services Corp., Peter and Liz Moorkill, Catalan Solutions, Inc., Steve Gordon.
At Carrier, we know that a comfortable home is a happy one. Whether it's with innovative breakthroughs in heating and cooling efficiency, or with different ways to control your home's temperature and air quality, we're always imagining new ways to make your home totally comfortable.
Turn to the experts and let your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer improve your home's comfort and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find an expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If you remember listening to this, and this, then remember this. COVID hasn't gone away. And if you're an adult with conditions like diabetes, asthma, or heart disease, it can cause serious setbacks. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about the latest COVID vaccine. It's one of the best ways to help protect yourself. Find out more at PfizerForAll.com. Pfizer. Outdo yesterday.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, why not consider Aegis Living Respite Care? A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, my family's been committed to doing what's right. At Wilcox Family Farms, that means caring for our hens with healthy pasture environments and a diet of organic grains and flax seeds. It's how we produce eggs that are wholesome, flavorful, and good for you. Next time you're at an egg case in your local store, we hope you feel good about choosing Wilcox eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning, everybody. We got a bunch of text messages. I know we'll have Ursula's words to live by. Is there any other story? Jimothy is in the news again?
No, we're going to actually talk about the text messages. Our top story this morning was teachers in Seattle are still threatening to strike one day before school. And Marion Queen Anne says, I'm very tired of hearing the teachers' soundbite statements basically saying we're only doing this for the kids. They are on strike for themselves. At least be truthful.
Mark in Nisqually says, one possible solution, folks, binding arbitration, just like cops and firefighters have to go through.
Heidi in Everett says 4 months is not a missed email. That's a strategy. They want to bring the pain. Some parents will decide to look at alternatives for their kids' education. I agree with you, Heidi.
Jay and Lacey says, just wait until school bus drivers decide to throw in the towel. They are way underpaid for what they do, but no one talks about that. Teachers deserve good pay, but look at the people who bring the kids to school. Wait until that happens.
Did you see in any of the text messages where that was what was striking about this time around? Usually we'll get people like...
I agree. I think that when we talked about that, it's rare that you and I are, or at least I'll speak for myself, are going against unions and going against teachers. We're not necessarily going against what you're talking about and what you want. We're going against your tactics. We're going against that 4 months, almost 4 months of not having that meeting. Yeah. We're going against, why do you guys keep doing this day of? And you say you care about the kids. This doesn't say you care about the kids.
Yeah, the Seattle Education Association has a disproportionate number of waiting until the last minute kind of negotiations. And that's just unfair to the families and especially to the students. But we are going to try to reach out to the union, and we're going to try to reach out to the superintendent, and we get that they're also in the midst of negotiations right now.
You know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
Speaking of tactics and disproportionate ways, I got to bring some levity to this. It reminds me, have you ever been in a relationship and your significant other wants to argue right before you start work on text messages?
That's not cool.
We could have did this after work.
Yes.
But right before. Lillian doesn't do that. I just wanted to say
I prefer to start arguments right before bed.
There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it.
What would you rather?
Okay.
Right before bed or right before work? Oh, you thinking about that?
They're both a loser.
They're both losers. But I don't need it.
Anytime but right before work. Right before work.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. But see, I remember you sleep like a baby. I don't. So I've got to consider right before bed. That would not be good. That would not be good.
I know that was random, but here we go.
Okay, your single friend may be doing better than you actually think. Joel in Big Lake says, I'm 50 years old and I've been by myself for the last 20 plus years and I couldn't be happier. There you go.
Our friend Janice in Fedway says, as someone who will be celebrating my 20th wedding anniversary this month, I always tell my single friends who always say they can't wait to find the one. It's easier being single,
All
she
caps.
says. All caps. Not that I don't want to be married, but you have to always think of how your choices will affect someone else's life. You can't just up and move if you find your dream job because that can affect your partner. And Janice, everything you said is why I am better not being single. Because if I was single right now,
you'd be in trouble.
On Tuesday, how come G didn't come to work? He moved.
He's now in Bellevue.
Where'd he go? He moved to Spain. He moved to Spain? Yep, Madrid.
Oh.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yes.
But when you are with someone, you have to think about that other person.
Yes.
And for somebody like me, all right,
You
we
can't
can't do
act
that.
on all your impulses.
Exactly.
That teenage trip to Spain really was a game changer for you, wasn't it?
And you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All right,
You
it's
got some
time,
memories.
Ursula. It's time for your words to live by. What you got?
I'm going to quote Sophia Loren here as I head out on vacation, so I won't be here after tomorrow for about 2 weeks. I love this. There is a fountain of youth. It is your mind, your talents, the creativity that you bring to your life, and the lives of the people you love.
Oh, that was good. Sophia Loren.
I'm all about that fountain of youth, and it's in your mind. I like that.
Yes. All right, Nick, what's happening, man?
Well, most days we all have a little free time for our brains to be scrolling on the phone or checking podcasts in our lane. But for some, they find the best way to take in these moments found is enjoying peace and silence with the break from all the sound.
Nothing from nothing, leave nothing.
But if you have a birthday with your time of serenity, give your fam a chance to call and celebrate your identity. I know you might be annoyed in the moment with those calls, but take it from G and know you'll miss it when it's in the rearview mirror later.
That's right. By the way, Nick, did you have anything to say about that whole topic of the single? It might be good.
It just depends. I think it just depends who you're with, you know? Sometimes you can be in a toxic relationship. Sometimes you're better off being alone if you're going to avoid that kind of thing.
Oh, well. Dave just texts in and says, oh no, G going unchecked for 2 weeks. It's gonna buckle up, buddy. No, just kidding.
I think I just said it's going to be amazing. I think it will be.
I'm not solo tomorrow, by the way. I got Angela Poe Russell is
awesome.
coming tomorrow. So, all right, good stuff. Thanks, Ursula. Enjoy your trip. Wait, where are you going again? Just so we get that straight. Everybody?
Italy and France.
Italy and France. Oh man. All right, when you come back, you got to let us know who has better food.
Oh, okay.
And who has better perfume.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one is going to be real interesting.
All right. Thanks, Chef. See you tomorrow, bro. Thank you, Nick.
You too, man.
Nick, what can we get tomorrow, man? What kind of vibe can we get tomorrow? Yacht rock.
Maybe a little yacht rock. Maybe I was inspired with some 90s hip hop later this week. We'll find out.
All right. Hey, the Jake and Spike Show coming in next. Stick around. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Nothing from nothing, leave nothing.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Riereka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue, with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, LLC, and MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment,